At the moment we're campaigning for housing here in Belfast, and the housing shortage is the same as it was in 1969.
West Belfast is the area of highest housing need in the state.
Why is nobody building homes where they're needed?
I want a community where things are running and you can predict what will happen.
A lot of people that comes here, their anxiety about the home office, your application, Adamo is kind of like breaks you down.
I'm Elfie. I work as an organiser with PPR. I was working for a long time on the Build Homes Now campaign, and now I'm working on campaigns to do with the rights of people seeking asylum in Northern Ireland. The Build Homes Now campaign is basically a campaign for social housing to be built for the 30,000 people that are currently on the housing waiting list in the north. It's been running for over 8 years now. It started with just a small group of residents in the New Lodge Towers, and now as the housing crisis has got worse and worse and worse, it's grown into a much bigger thing.
I was first introduced to PPR back in 2009 whilst I was living with my baby in one of the tower blocks in the New Lodge. It was a coincidence that one night they were doing surveys. They were asking people, are you happy with where you were living? It was the first question they asked. They invited me along to have a cup of tea and a biscuit in a local community centre and discussing more, and I've been involved ever since. When I got involved, it was for personal reasons. I wanted to get out of where I was living for me and my daughter, but it quickly became this isn't just me. There were so many other women and children in my situation. So it started with a group of women complaining about damp mould, pigeon waste, and grew to, there's all this land, there's all these homeless people, why is nobody building homes where they're needed?
Over the course of about a year, we brought children and young people together and worked with them to see what kind of a solution they would like for the housing crisis. So we were always focusing on this site in West Belfast, this 25-acre Mackies site that's publicly owned and that is in the area of the most housing need. So just to bring that home, these kids were living in the 4 to 5 family hostels that are in a mile radius of these sites. So we brought the children, the young people, their families together to talk about how homelessness and how the housing waiting list is affecting them, but also what they would like to see on the Mackies site and what they see as a solution.
Over here, people are alienated from each other, and that's in every aspect of life. But I think when we're talking about a campaign of building houses, we shouldn't be talking about just building houses, because if you want houses, that can be done. It'd just be a row of the same houses over and over again without focusing on people. Housing is used to benefit people, benefit certain individuals, make people money, save people money. Housing is a lot more than that. It's about psychology, it's about creating communities, it's about creating something that people would want to be a part in together.
My background is in kind of community work, organising. In the last 10 years I've been working in mental health, and just realising the impact of shared housing on people's mental health, and realising as well that your mental health is mainly impacted by the environment that you're living in.
In my neighborhood, we're like a family. We do things like one family, and I miss that so much. In fact, I don't think I know my neighbors in this place. I want a community where things are running and you can predict what will happen, and then there is love, there is peace and everything.
بس أما بالنسبة أعتقد بس المشكلة اللي دلوقتي مواجهانا عشان لسه إحنا أعتقد لسه إحنا في مرحلة اللجوء. من ما جينا كنا طالبين لجوء لغاية ما صرنا لاجئين. كان الواحد مرة بمراحل انتقال في السكن كتير شديد، من مرحلة لمرحلة. أول بيت كان قعدنا فيه، وذاك كان بالنسبة للضيافة مدة شهر. منه تاني انتقلنا لبيت اللي هو قبل
I'm from Yemen and I live now in Belfast. I have been here 1 year and 2 months, 3 months maybe. I have friends, she told me there is a group for women. I go. First time, 2 times, I feel like I work with them a long time. You feel like a home. They all from different culture and different religion, but they are very friendly. There is nothing different. We are all equal.
I also work with the Anaka Women's Collective. That same kind of innovation and like vision and energy can be found among the women and their families in the work through kind of shared struggles and shared kind of trauma of like things that have happened to them or things that are happening in Belfast that are making their lives hard, and turning that into like a desire to really like educate each other, to share skills, to nourish each other's kids, you know, to celebrate the things that happen in their lives together.
As an asylum seeker, it's not easy to be able to like integrate into the society. Anaka is a place where, in terms of counseling, helping with housing and stuff, in terms of childcare and stuff, yeah, it's been just a great group for me.
In Anaka, we don't just involve the parents, we don't just involve the mothers. We do things that bring our children together. So our children are already friends. Unlike when they go to school, they face racism. We don't find that in our Anaka setting. Our children come together to play. We go to beach together. We put them on trainings together. 2 days or 3 days ago, we were in the picnic together, all of them. And you know, we try to make them catch all the fun together. So we're already building that community of we can do things together.
Everything we need to solve the housing crisis in West Belfast exists. The only thing that's missing is political will. So if we were to focus that in on the Mackies site, our vision is around housing that is equitable, housing that is not only ecologically sustainable, but it's also financially sustainable. So the houses are affordable in perpetuity. They stay in the public housing system. They can't be sold for profit. It's a mixed community, it's a diverse community, it's a genuinely diverse community, and that is celebrated.
At the moment we're campaigning for housing here in Belfast, and the housing shortage is the same as it was in 1969 when civil rights started and erupted. And the Irish community in Belfast, after building a wee small school for their kids, they were threatened with imprisonment, arrest, and they moved from Shaw's Road down to Bombay Street after Bombay Street was completely burnt out and gutted. And they built houses, they built 31 houses. They started building on the 12th of December and they handed over the first set of keys the next July. So under those conditions, then people went down and done that. And we have a site which is 1/4 the size of Belfast city centre, still lying empty.
My name is Sean Kane. I'm from Belfast. Been homeless on and off for about 16 years. Was roped into going to Mackies one day by PPR. So off we went up to Mackies. We just seen the big vision.
West Belfast is the area of highest housing need in the state, and there are large tracts of publicly owned land. So when you look at those two things together, there is no reason in the world for there to be a housing need.
I can see us going forward with this campaign. Let's do it right and live side by side.
That kind of idea sharing and really trying to bring each other up when the structures around us and the politicians, the organisations, the structures that we should rely on are failing us, but together maybe we can solve some of these issues that we're facing.
Having that idea of we want something new, something creative, I think that's the only way forward.
I do believe there's still a connection. There's always going to be a connection in this whole materiality of a conflict and post-conflict if it's not addressed, if you don't address the issue, and the issue is systemic age-old housing policies that are keeping people out of homes.
عن طريقة اللبس السوداني وطريقة إعداد الطعام برضو السوداني بطريقة مختلفة. وعندنا عادات برضو وطقوس في الزواج السوداني برضو، يعني دي كلها حاجات. وفي من الفلكلور السوداني والتراث، وحتى الزخارف والزينة بتاعت المنازل، يعني دي كلها من التراث السوداني. يعني أتمنى أن هنا الناس تتعرف عليها.
You will be together. We are together. We're helping together. Everything together.
You know, we have an opportunity now to build communities that reflect that diversity.
Because people do deserve better. You know, people are working hard to build a life for themselves in a post-conflict society, living in conditions that started the civil rights movement. No, we're now at a higher level of homelessness than we've ever been.
People have come from very different places and very different backgrounds and speak different languages and look different, but they are fighting and have fought for the same basic rights, and now they're here in Belfast doing it together.
Quite a lot of people that comes here, their anxiety about the home office, your application, why you're waiting. A lot of people have skills that they want to give at that moment, and you not being able to do anything at that moment kind of like breaks you down. So Anaka is a place where even while you're waiting, you're helping others, and it's kind of like giving a lot of people joy that you are able to like help other people to develop some skills instead of you just being home and thinking. I think it's a great place to be in, especially when you're using your skills to help others.
They feel you are in your home, and they are your family.
Anaka is just a place that has brought out peace, joy, and acceptance.
It doesn't matter where you come from, we're just the same. We focus on one goal, which is to make women better and to make other people smile.
That is a very simple ask. I think we must ask for more.
The Irish community then did not take no for an answer. They used their own skills, they used their own determination, they used what they had, and they faced down those who said this can't be done. And I think we need to learn from that type of determination.
If we could just like somehow weave that into the infrastructure of like a new community at Mackies, it would be incredible, because you know, we don't need much, but there's a few things you can do when you're thinking about how to build a new community that allow for things like that to happen a lot easier. And one of those things is good social housing that is built in a way that nourishes community rather than creates constant barriers for people to come together and live together.